In a league where championship windows are narrow and front offices scramble to balance competitiveness with sustainability, the Oklahoma City Thunder are charting a masterclass in future-proofing an NBA franchise. Meanwhile, the Brooklyn Nets, once touted as a super team in the making, are now in search of both identity and direction. As we look ahead, the question becomes more urgent. Are the Nets even remotely prepared to compete in a league increasingly dominated by teams like OKC? OKC, a blueprint for the modern rebuilt Thunder's current state of prosperity, wasn't born out of luck. It was architected with surgical precision. After trading away franchise cornerstones Russell Westbrook and Paul George in 2019, Oklahoma City embraced the rebuild. In doing so, they acquired a historic trove of draft picks and young players. Sam Presti, OKC's long-serving general manager, effectively gamified the NBA draft, turning it into a stock market of assets. Fast forward to 2025, and the Thunder boast one of the youngest, most talented rosters in the NBA. A top 5 MVP candidate in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, a player they acquired in the Paul George deal. A unicorn big man in Chet Holmgren, whose two-way impact is already altering games. A rising star in Jalen Williams, capable of filling multiple roles on both ends of the floor. A war chest of 30 draft picks over the next several years, including numerous unprotected firsts. This isn't just potential, it's production. OKC finished the 2024 season as a top seed in the Western Conference, and their core players are 26 and under. Their roster is deep, versatile, and well-coached under Mark Daigneault. They defend, they share the ball, and they have shooting at nearly every position. The Thunder have not only rebuilt, they've arrived. The Nets, a rebuild without a blueprint? Compare that with the Brooklyn Nets, a team still recovering from one of the most meteoric collapses in NBA history. Just a few years ago, Brooklyn was home to Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden. Now, none remain, and the aftermath has been murky at best. The Durant and Kyrie trades did bring in assets from Phoenix, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and several unprotected picks. From Dallas, Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, and additional picks. They also have Nick Claxton, who has emerged as one of the more underappreciated bigs in the league. But beyond that, there's no clear franchise centerpiece. Mikal Bridges is a valuable two-way player, but he may have plateaued as a high-end role player rather than a true one option. Cam Thomas can score in bunches, but struggles defensively and with playmaking. Ben Simmons remains a question mark. Health, consistency, and fit all cloud his future. And while the Nets have some draft capital, they don't own a clean stockpile like the Thunder. In fact, they owe picks to Houston from the Harden trade. Still, talent pipeline. One team is stacked. Let's put this simply, OKC is bursting at the seams with young, controllable talent. From SGA to Chet, from Jalen Williams to rookies like Ousmane Dieng, the Thunder have a mix of blue-chip players and high-upside prospects. They can afford to miss on a few picks and still remain contenders. Brooklyn, they're still looking for their next foundational piece. There's no clear All-NBA trajectory player on their roster, unless they strike gold in the draft, and even that's not guaranteed. They may be headed for a prolonged stay in mediocrity. Philosophical divide. Development versus desperation. Patient development model is the envy of the league. They don't rush their prospects. They don't burn assets for short-term gain. Instead, they create a culture of accountability, teaching, and growth. Even veterans like Lou Dort have blossomed under this system. Brooklyn, meanwhile, is trying to rebrand itself on the fly. One foot in a rebuild, the other still trying to stay relevant in the East. It's a dangerous in-between space where no long-term progress is made. Are they building around bridges? Are they waiting for a star to demand a trade? Are they trying to remain competitive enough to make the play-in? The ambiguity is costing them time and opportunity. Front office vision. Sam Presti has turned Oklahoma City into a long-term chess game. He's always a step ahead, flipping picks, adding value, drafting players with the right attitude and fit. The Thunder scouting department is arguably the best in the league. Brooklyn's front office, led by Sean Marks, has made moves that seem more reactive than strategic. The Durant and Irving experiments were high risk, high reward, and when they blew up, there wasn't a contingency plan. The current roster is more patchwork than project. Coaching and culture. Mark Daigneault has quietly become one of the most impressive coaches in the league. His system encourages ball movement, spacing, and defensive discipline. Players develop under his watch. The Nets have gone through multiple coaching changes in recent years, with Jake Vaughn being replaced by Kevin Ollie as interim and now potentially searching for another long-term answer. It's been hard to establish continuity or a clear identity. The market missile may argue that Brooklyn's New York market gives them a leg up, a better shot at signing a superstar, but OKC has already proven that smart team building can outlast geography. Gian has stayed in Milwaukee. Jokic thrives in Denver. Stars want structure, support, and sustainability, and OKC has all three. The road ahead Thunder are not only ready to contend now, they're set up to dominate for the next decade. Their flexibility, youth, and draft capital give them every route to improvement, organic growth, blockbuster trade, or star free agent signing. Brooklyn, on the other hand, faces existential questions. Do they commit to a rebuild? Do they trade Bridges while his value is high? Can they even tank effectively without their own picks? Right now, they're caught in the middle, a place no NBA franchise wants to be. Final word Oklahoma City represents. What happens when a team embraces long-term vision with conviction and purpose? Brooklyn, despite having all the glamour and early hype, now stands as a cautionary tale about cutting corners in the pursuit of stardom. The Thunder are locked, loaded, and dangerous. The Nets, they're still figuring out who they want to be. OKC is ready for the future. The question is, when will Brooklyn even start building for theirs?